SPX jumped plus 0.1% as CNBC U.S. video news clips on the stock market lifted semiconductors and energy. Welcome to your daily market briefing for 2026-04-07. The tape kept a mixed bias overall. SPX ended plus 0.08%. NDX ended plus 0.04%. Leaders were GLD, XLE, and the softer pocket was XLP, XLY. Here is the broad market snapshot. S&P 500, up 0.08%. NASDAQ 100, up 0.04%. Dow Jones, down 0.18%. Next, the ETF curve set shows where relative strength and weakness developed through the session. Leaders were gold plus 0.97%, energy plus 0.80%. Laggards were consumer staples, minus 1.69%, consumer discretionary, minus 1.16%. Across global markets, the session leaned risk-off globally, with broad market retreat across regions. Asia was under the most pressure, with Shanghai and Japan leading the retreat, while Australia and Oceania held up better than the rest. Stepping back, the tape kept a mixed bias overall. SPX ended plus 0.08%. NDX ended plus 0.04%. Leaders were GLD, XLE, and the softer pocket was XLP, XLY. The stock market fear and greed index is 25, which sits in fear. That is down 1 point from the prior reading. That points to a cautious tape, where traders still want confirmation before adding risk. On the S&P 500 heat map, leaders were semiconductors, plus 1.06%, energy plus 0.80%. Laggards were consumer staples, negative 1.69%, consumer discretionary, negative 1.16%. Policy expectations remain a major driver, and upcoming macro releases is one of the next data points traders will use to calibrate the Fed path. If that data surprises hot, long-duration trades could stay under pressure. Commodity action was split. Natural gas led, while Brent lagged, so the move looked selective rather than broad-based. The index board leaned higher, with Dow carrying the weakest tone and Nikkei holding up best. Mega-cap curves were mostly negative, which points to a broad tone move more than a single-name story. Forex showed a risk-on currency tone, with the sharpest move in USD/JPY and the best relative strength in AUD/USD. Crypto remained constructive, which helps confirm the broader market risk tone. Bond curves suggest yields were mostly rising, so rates still mattered for the session. The main focus stayed on leadership, stayed concentrated in semiconductors and energy. The pressure point remained consumer staples and consumer discretionary. For tomorrow, watch the next macro events, the direction of Treasury yields, and whether leadership stays with semiconductors and energy or rotates elsewhere. Also, watch follow-through on CNBC U.S. video news clips on the stock market, CNBC, because headline risk can quickly reshape sentiment. That is the key takeaway for today's market. The tape kept a mixed bias overall. SPX ended plus 0.08%. NDX ended plus 0.04%. Leaders were GLD, XLE, and the softer pocket was XLP, XLY. Keep watching policy signals, index leadership, and the next macro catalysts. Subscribe for the next daily market briefing.